Hey guys, I wanted to stop on in and kind of give you a quick word for the day, and we're going to be doing this more and more as we deal with this coronavirus together. But I know we are in circumstances of uncertainty, and that uncertainty is producing a lot of worry and a lot of fear. And I know that you've heard 100 messages and seen a million posts about we're not going to worry, we're not going to have fear, we're going to have faith. And I agree. But I want to take that a bit further today, and how I want to do that is just kind of address, I think that we are worrying and I think that we have fear because in the midst of this uncertainty, we feel like it might threaten our identity and even our purpose. Because somewhere along the way, we begin to kind of put our purpose and our meaning and we attach it to the circumstances of this world. So maybe it's success in the workplace, maybe it's financial security. And so as we see things begin to crumble and begin to these circumstances to change, we wonder if that's going to change us and who we are and what our identity is. And really, that's not a very good place to live. And so my heart for us is that we might embrace a God-given purpose. Because when we do that, then no matter what the circumstances do around us, we can still have a foundation to stand upon. We still have meaning and an identity no matter what's happening around us. I love Paul kind of gives us some insight of how that can kind of look in Philippians chapter 1 and verse 12. It says, I want you to know, brothers, that what has happened to me has really served to advance the gospel. Now, you need to know what's happened to him. Paul, who was this traveling evangelist, and he would go from place to place and city to city, and he'd spread the good news of the gospel, and he would plant churches, and all these things would happen, but it was always based upon these missionary journeys, and he would travel everywhere. So now what they've done is probably the worst thing you can do to a guy like this outside of just killing him, and they've isolated him down to a prison cell. So he can't travel, he can't fulfill kind of the purpose that he had been fulfilling then, but he's telling the people, it's fine. Even though my circumstances have changed, the purpose still remains. The gospel is advancing. And here's how it continues to play out in verse 13. He says, so that it's become known throughout the whole imperial guard and to all the rest of that my imprisonment is for Christ. He's saying, yeah, I'm in a jail cell. Yeah, my circumstances have changed. Yeah, it seems dire. Yeah, this is not comfortable. But at the end of the day, the gospel's being made known to people that even before I didn't have access to. The entire imperial guard is now hearing about Jesus. And so he's saying, yeah, I'll endure whatever circumstances are around me as long as that purpose can remain. So he's saying, whether I'm on the road and traveling or whether I'm in a cell, the purpose is to help people know God. And I'm going to fulfill that purpose. And in all of it, I'm going to trust that God is in control and that God can work all things for good for those who love him and are called according to his purpose. And that's my heart for us. I want us to understand our purpose in helping people know God and how that can remain no matter what's happening around us. As many of you know, last year I battled through a season of depression. And there's a lot to that story that I'm not going to dive into right here. But one of the big takeaways was in the midst of that depression, there was a big worry and fear that if Grove Community Church didn't survive for whatever reason, what that would mean for me. How I would feel like a complete failure, how I wouldn't know what my identity was. And I really started wrestling with those things because I was placing all of my value and worth and identity in being the pastor of Grove Community Church. Walking out of at least that season of depression, I was really able to be convinced of the fact that my purpose primarily is just to help people know God. And while I love getting to do that as the pastor of Grove Community Church, I can do that if I'm working at Walmart. I can do that if I'm an Uber driver. I can even do that if I'm sick and in the hospital bed. That no matter what's happening around me, my purpose can remain, and I can help people know God. And I can trust him, I can walk in his peace that will surpass all understanding. And that's my heart and my hope and my prayer for you. Because friend, that's a better place to live. There's more peace there. There's more joy there. There's more fulfillment there. And that's what I want for you, that you would embrace a God-given purpose that can endure no matter how things change. So, man, take precautions. Try not to end up sick in a hospital bed. Try not to go through changes that end up costing you your job or whatever that might mean. But at the end of the day, no matter what happens, God has a purpose for your life that's bigger still, and that remains still. And so think through how you can embrace that today. How can you help somebody know God today? In all the change and all the uncertainty, how can you fulfill that purpose today? And I pray that great things will happen of it, but where people get to hear the good news of Jesus Christ, and we'll give him all the glory and praise. I'll see you later.